demonstrate how to create your offer for the OASIS Small Business and 8A solicitations. The URL for this website is https://oasis.app.cloud.gov. Once you get there, you'll notice a logon page. At this page, you'll see that there are a couple links. The first one you may want to look at if this is your first time here is the before you get started. There are a couple tips on this page that will help you to more successfully navigate this process. So when you go in here, number one is your SAM record is critical for registration. Your SAM record must be made public. At that time, we will check to see who the government business POC or alternative government POC is. When these people register in Symphony, we will check and make sure that the email address matches what they have in their SAM record. When that is done, then they will be activated immediately and have full access to the system. At that point, other users who register who are not one of these two people, they will be able to get activated by that SAM POC. The SAM POC can also assign a proposal manager who will then have full rights and access to the system as well. And these people can activate further users as well as submit the final proposal. The other thing you're going to need is a multi-factor authentication method. We've suggested these three here. You can use any other ones that you have that are time-based. I have used the Chrome extension, which was easy to install into my Google browser, or Chrome browser, excuse me. And I'll show you how to use that when I register a new user. So I'm going to go back here and I'm going to start to register a non-POC person. I've already registered myself as the POC. And I have the MFA, I have the correct DUNS number. The correct DUNS number is the DUNS number of the entity which you will be making a submission upon or for on behalf of. The DUNS number is the company for which you will be making a submission on behalf of. Do not use any other DUNS numbers. You won't have access to the SAM record. And my SAM record has been made public for registration purposes. So I will register another user in my company. If I enter his email address here, I'm going to enter in our DUNS number. When I've entered enough characters, it tells me that I can look up the organization. It is Apex Logic. Yes, I am not a joint venture. The difference here is that the document requirements, as stated in the solicitation, are different for a joint venture and a prime CTA entity. So you want to make sure that you select the right one so that you do have the prompts for the correct documents that you'll need to submit with your proposal. So now I'm going to go ahead and enter his information here. See if I can do this right the first time. So it looks like it matches, so I'm allowed to continue. I have the Chrome Authenticator right here. I'm going to add him. Now I can scan it, which I will just go right here, and hopefully it will work. It doesn't always work. Oh, it looks like it worked. So I'm going to go ahead and select this, and then I'm going to copy this, and then enter it into the area where it asks for your 6-digit code. If you had selected SMS, you would have been asked for your cell phone number and the carrier. At this point, a text would have been sent to that cell phone with the code that you would have entered in here. I like this because I can just copy it and not typo it. Okay, so now right here it says that before signing into my account, I must first be activated by my SAM authorized point of contact. And for your convenience, we have put those here. That would be me or Poria. And basically you can just say go to this URL and activate yourself, or register yourself so that you can then activate other users. Okay, so I already know that Matt is going to need to be activated, so I will now log in as myself. And I will enter my 6-digit code from here. That would be this guy. And I'm in. So you'll notice on this page that we have the solicitations for the small business with the 3 pulls and the 8A set aside with the 6 pulls that are part of the solicitation. Each one of these has a separate question and answer. You can go into the question and answer and ask all of your questions. Please note that when the questions are in the question queue, you can perform actions on them, edit, reorder how they are, or remove a question. But notice that in the submitted questions, these are questions that you have already submitted to OASIS. You cannot do anything with them. They are submitted. I will go ahead and create a new question for you. Let's say it's on page 67 of the solicitation. And what do you mean by the COPM? I hope that's not the actual question you're asking, but I'm just going to go ahead and put that in there. So then that's going to be added down here. And then when I'm ready to submit all of the questions, I will go ahead and hit submit. And then we're confirming that you know that it can no longer be edited after you've submitted these questions. So we've submitted them. These are all the questions that you have in here. OASIS will be looking at your questions and then providing a response via FBO. So I'm going to go back, and we still have the solicitations here. If I'm doing one solicitation, I can do the majority of my work within the pool. If I'm doing more than one solicitation, it might be best to go into proposal assets, and in here you can create all of your assets for multiple submissions. So for instance, I'm going to go in here to POC. These are people who I've already set up. Andrew is a registered user, meaning that he came into the system and registered himself, and I was able to add him as the COPM. Notice that he's here. And then Matt Clark is also a registered user, although I haven't activated him yet. I can select him and automatically activate him. But I'm going to show you how to do this. Aline was not a registered user, and she probably will never access the system. So I've set her up as a COCM. Her information will be passed on through with the submission. However, she didn't register because she's just never going to come to the system. So now I'm going to go ahead and activate any registered users that have registered but are not active yet. If there are users that have registered but are not inactive, they're going to show up in this link. So right now, Matt Clark is in here, and I'm going to go ahead and activate him. And then we can see that he's been added as a staff member. I'm going to go ahead and change the proposal manager here, and this is going to allow me to select any of the other registered users that are in the system. Note that these are registered users, so they must be registered in order to be assigned as proposal manager. So I'm going to go ahead and select Matt then as the new proposal manager. Now when Matt logs in, he's going to have access to this. So he's going to have full access to the system now, since he is the proposal manager. Andrew, on the other hand, will not. He won't be able to change any users, and he will not be able to submit the proposal at the end. I'm going to go ahead and then move on to team members. In team members right now, I'm the only team member in the system as the prime, but I'm going to go ahead and add a company right now, and that's a company known as GSA. I'm going to go ahead and enter in a DUNS number then for the team member that I would like to add as part of our group. Okay, so 84642. Gotcha. And that is GSA. So yes, they are going to be a member of our group. I'm then going to go ahead in here and select files for them. So I'm going to select the certs and reps. I'm going to select files for upload. So I'm going to go to my desktop and go to here and select my GSA certs and reps right here. And you'll notice that it was added down here. You can download it or delete it at this point. I'm then going to go to my partner agreement, and I'm going to select the file to upload. And that is the partner agreement. This is the agreement between Apex Logic and GSA. to member. I'm going to continue. Please note that you do have to select which document you are entering. When we submit this proposal for you, this allows the evaluators to more easily see each of the documents that you are using to substantiate your claims. So now we have this guy in here. So GSA is in here now. We can see that they're here. I can add more documents if I need to. And I can also obviously delete them. I'm not going to do any of that. I'm going to go back to proposal assets and I'm going to move on to projects. You can add as many team members in here as you need and then, and go from there. You'll see each time you add one, you'll have to add the documents for them. You do not need to do that at that specific time, but you will need to do it before you submit your proposal. In projects, I've already created a couple projects. You'll notice that the status right here is whether it's in process or complete. Complete meaning that you've completed the entire form. So if I go into this primary experience, I have completed all of the information that is in here. And I can still go ahead and edit it since I haven't submitted it yet. And I can see all the documents that I've done in here to support it. I can also delete it. But I'm going to go ahead and create a new project for you. And so I'm going to go ahead and select it. Notice the different types of vehicles that you can choose from. These will actually create different forms for you based on your choice here. So for instance, if you went into and chose a multi-award IDIQ, you're only going to have these numbers because this is all the information that they're going to be required of you. However, if you went into a task order, okay, it's going to give me the alert that I'm changing this, which is going to change your form. So any information that was in there, then it's going to ask you all of these questions. Additionally, if I do this, and then I'm going to make this a primary and a secondary, I can also make it a pool qual. Then all the information required to submit it for those types of projects will be in here. So then I'm going to go ahead and select a project name. So task order 19080. The contract task order number was GSA 9090. And then in here I can select the prime contractor for this project. So for instance, if GSA was the prime contractor on this project under the award agreement or any documentation you can provide, then you would choose them. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then I'm going to enter into a date. So this project started on the 16th of February. And we'll call it the 8th. So it went through. We're going to go ahead and add that. And then that's a good size project. I'm going to add another one. And then I'm going to add a proposal reference in their documentation that you're going to submit in support of this. You can put in sticky notes or highlight where the supporting information is. And so it's going to make it easier for them to find it and substantiate the fact that that you've shown them proof for this. You want to make sure that you do this in here. So I'm going to put in FPDS NG for this project. So it was project GSA 909. GSA 90909. And then the next code for this is going to be 541330 since I am submitting for pool 1 and this is a pool qual. And then this is R703. And then we'll also say that this reference is FPDS NG report for this project. I can go ahead and add and get points for the program management. So this is going to be the GSA 909 SOW page 8. I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing here. And then this is CONUS and a CONUS. So I'm going to go ahead and choose Alabama We'll go ahead and have Huntsville. Make sure you're checking your metro areas so that they are not overlapping. And then for Oconus, go ahead and choose United States, Alaska, and then we'll choose Anchorage. And then we'll choose Oconus, and we'll choose, let's say Belize. So San Pedro. And then we can add one more CONUS now, and we'll go ahead and do California. And we'll say Palo Alto. So these are all 4 different separate locations. I'm going to go ahead and add that in there. Were there at least 3 subcontractors? Yes, maybe. No, I'm not going to get points for that on this one. I'm not going to do any of the rest of this, but I'm going to go ahead and put in my performance rating so that I complete this. And then because it's a secondary and I want to get credit for that, I'm going to go ahead and add my reference for that. And then I'm going to save it. Everything's saved and I believe it's complete. So now I'm going to go in here and the title is task order. I'm going to go back to my files and I'm going to select project 5 and I'm just going to go ahead and download all of those. And so you can see all of those documents were just added as support for this project. So I'm complete. And then you notice in projects that this order was added right here, task order 19090. It is complete. I can go ahead and preview that and make an edit to it if I forgot that. You know what? We also have logistics. So we're going to go ahead and add that one in there. Save. And then I'm going to go back to my proposal assets. I'm also going to go to now, back into projects. So now everything is in there. I can go into my documents and I can see right now what documents are in here. I have supporting documents for GSA. I have these projects that have supporting documents. This one is not. And then in my submissions, because I'm in my proposal assets, all the pools that you will be bidding on will be here, and then you'll see how that works. So right now I've only started into pool 1. So pool 1 has been started. If I go ahead and start another submission, I can select the team members. I'm going to make them another team member. Obviously, Apex Logic is always a team member, so they've been added. I can go into here. And I can select this project and this project and say this project and I can save. I can go ahead and review and see what my submission looks like right now. As we said, I guess I didn't say it in this demonstration, but the scoring information is not going to be available until after questions and answers have been completed to ensure that there's no amendments. You will be able to automatically see your score at any given time, and it'll be showing up here with your report card. And you can see all your project information, and then you can see your documents. So right now it says that I don't have any documents that I've put in here. So I need to actually go back to my proposal assets and put on all of my prime contractor documents in there. So I'm going to go back in there. I'm going to go to documents and I'm going to upload my documents, and I'm going to go ahead and go to my systems and clearances. So I have this guy, I have this guy, I have this guy, I have this guy. We'll just go ahead and select a few of these and then save. So when I do that, I'm going to get points for that. Now, you don't just get points for saying that you have that. Obviously, you have to upload your files for that. So I'm going to go into my systems and I'm going to go ahead and select all these to support what I put into that checklist. So now when I go back in here and I go into my system certifications and clearances, I'm going to see that all of these supporting documents are in here. Okay, so now I am going to go and select my GSA 527, go in here and get out of here and go to my GSA 527. And then I'm going to add my reps inserts. Now you can also do a drop and drag over here. Because I'm filming this, it doesn't actually show up correctly, so I'm just using this. As you can see, as we're growing this out, we now have our 527, and we also have our reps inserts in here. So I'm going to add a couple more. I'm going to add the subcontracting plan. And as I said, please make sure you select the type of document that you are putting in here. If you don't, then it doesn't show up in the right area. But with this way, it makes it much easier for the evaluators to look at all of your documents. So I'm going to go back then to take a look at all the documents I've just added. You can see there in my prime the documents that I've added. And I've also started another submission in pool 3. So this is my pool 3. In order to have anything in that, you must go to your pool 3, and you can go to your review. Now I wouldn't do this until last, is updating your completed SF33 document, just in case they add any more amendments to that you will need to check off. Once they provide the final SF33, you can go ahead and include that as part of your thing after you sign it and ensure that all the information on there is correct. And then you will just submit it. Right now we're not obviously doing submitting since we're not past the questions and answers period. So that is pretty much how you do it. Again, if you need any help, you can obviously post a question or answer. If you have any questions that are non-technical in nature, go ahead and ask them through the question button in your solicitation. The questions will end on, well, right now it's saying May 10th. I believe there might be an extension on that. Don't hold me to it. And then the submission deadline is June 20th. Please make sure that you log onto the system and you register early in case there are any problems with your SAM record. Yesterday during the industry day, SAM went down, so people were unable to register at that time. We just need to use that for security reasons for your benefit. Any questions that you have with the system that are technical in nature, you can send that to the help link right there. Enter your information in and submit, and we're pretty quick on getting back to everybody. We know that it's important for that. So thank you so much, and have a great day.